is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Happy 4th of July.
We're doing this on the 4th.
Is that right? We didn't take the day off.
America.
Well, see, my
America.
reasoning for scheduling this episode to come out today was that we're all together.
Yes.
And then we can all follow Dan home because I hear he's cooking a brisket today.
Yeah, it's currently in the smoker. I don't need to monitor it at all.
Yeah.
I know I'm good.
You have two sous chefs.
I do.
And they're watching it.
I'm so good at briskets.
Yeah.
That I just have a feeling.
Yep.
And that feeling is I can be here recording this right now.
Yeah.
That's my
right.
feeling.
That's
and then
right.
we're all just going to follow you home.
That's right.
When you're good, you're good. So happy 4th of July, everybody.
Yeah, happy 4th.
What better way to celebrate than with Minutemen, the time-traveling decom from 2008.
And you wish you could time travel because if you're watching this live and you're in Greenville, South Carolina, you've missed the fireworks. They were last
you
night.
ready
That's
for
right.
this, Dan?
Yeah, I'm ready.
They're doing the Unity Park fireworks
Last
they were
night?
last night.
On the 3rd?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
They wanted to give the
first responders the day off.
the day off. But fine.
I think
Can
it's
I be honest? Kind of love it.
Brand hates it.
And just the one thing.
Yeah, Brand doesn't want you to F with tradition unless it's extending Christmas to year round. Then he's all about
That's
it.
correct.
I was like, there's like a whole post on the Greenville website about we wanted, it was like give everyone the day off, it's
Take
a
the
holiday.
3rd off.
Rather than paying people to come in on the holiday, take the day off, be with your family and friends. And Brand read that statement and was like,
But what's wild is that why don't you? Is it because it fell on a Friday? Why not do that every year?
But also,
it's not always on the 4th.
It's not always on the Friday. It isn't. That's what I'm saying. Like,
If
why
it's
did they do that this year?
I don't know why they did it this year.
And I
Also,
would agree with that complaint.
If it's a holiday and you're going into work, you're probably almost definitely getting some
Double time.
Yes.
They're going to make this sound like it's nice.
They're saving money.
They're saving money.
But also to give people the actual day off they want with their family is pretty great. I mean, July 4th is this weird thing.
No, if it's like every other holiday, though, where
but
you
no
can
other holiday.
you can choose to work if you want to work.
But
and
no
get the
other
double
holiday
pay.
has a pyrotechnics explosion organized by the city. That's why they need the fireman.
But it's happening on the 3rd anyway.
I
Yes,
didn't
but
think this discussion was going to be this long.
Some firemen are going to work the 4th regardless, right? They have to in case there is a fire.
They're all taking the day off.
They're going to work the
Nobody light a fire.
Right, and then they put it
Here
out
in
there and
Greenville,
say we need
everyone's
this,
off today.
this amount of slots filled
Yes.
and double pay. And
But
bada
this
bing,
is-
some people maybe are need that money.
Yeah.
And we're taking it from them by doing it on the 3rd.
I think that you've created a straw man that does not exist.
Oh,
here.
this straw man is as real as the straw man in the Wizard of Oz.
Okay. The Scarecrow?
Yeah.
Hey, we got a bunch of new reviews.
We got a bunch new?
Bunch of new reviews. Absolutely.
Give me one of them.
Read one for us.
Aaron for Office Queen. Did I read that one yet?
I think so.
I don't think so.
You
Read it.
did or didn't?
Read
I
it
feel
again.
like there's been an Office Queen
Read it again.
comment.
I think we've read that one. That was June 24th. But last time we did this show, I specifically only read one.
Yes.
And it wasn't
Okay.
Aaron for Office Queen. I don't think. I think
right,
it was
Aaron for
Friday
Office
Fun
Queen.
Times that I read.
Sure.
Yeah, I've not read this yet.
Yeah, perfect.
This is from Ash Story 6.
we love Ash.
Yes. In parentheses, it says, this is actually Aaron's brother, JJ. No, I'm just kidding.
He already gave a review
Of
early
course
on.
he did. Shout out to JJ, brother of the week.
Brother of the week.
Shout out to
It's not going to. He's got a look in his eye that's going to be Jesse.
I am gonna go with Pat today.
Wow. Okay. Still not Jesse. Cool. It's Jim for me. Hey, buddy.
Hey, JJ.
Aaron for Office Queen. I love listening to this podcast. I did not grow up with the Disney Channel or watching all the movies, but have watched some. I enjoy hearing from Aaron, Bran, and Dan on their takes about the movies. My kids love to play the song Cotton Eye Joe, and I now cannot hear it without all the commentary from y'all coming to my
Same.
head. Thanks for keeping me laughing. Here's to getting to 300. Thank you so much, Ash Story 6. We definitely did not read that review.
No, we
I
didn't.
hate that we ruined Cotton Eye Joe for people or made it
Can I
better
say-
or enhanced it. I don't know.
I think
Can I
it's-
read one
but-
more? Or we?
Yeah, let's go one more. It's the 4th.
Yeah, soon to be
Someone's
Angel.
got to work today.
Soon to be Angel. Or soon to be Angel.
Soon to be Angel's really dark.
Yeah, that's dark.
Yeah.
Soon to be Angel
I'm a die
says,
soon.
keep it going to the 13th. I don't know what that means.
We're going to keep it going to the 13th. Don't you worry.
keep it going to the 13th. I still haven't seen High School Musical, but Dan has, and that gives me life.
Yeah.
So
That's
you're
a great
welcome,
review.
soon to
We're
be
gonna-
Angel.
Hey, soon to be
and
Angel.
our condolences.
You still have so much to live for, Angel.
Hey, soon to be Angel. Not only has Dan seen High School Musical, he's seen it twice.
Shut up.
That's true. That's true.
Nobody
He has
likes
seen it twice. He has seen it twice. It's time for Delish. Aaron, you got a full cake here today.
Yeah.
On top,
Like you, they want you for office queen.
on top of the cake, and I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to move it either because it's not.
It's a clock.
It looks like a clock.
7
I'll
o'clock.
post a. I'll post a
2
picture.
o'clock there.
It's 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Why'd you go at 2 o'clock?
I was decorating it this morning and
At 2 o'clock?
had
2 a.m.
I was running out of time and I just made a little
Man,
hands.
running out of time.
Wow. Thematic.
Sometimes you're running out of
Yeah.
time while icing the time
No.
on a cake about
All right,
time.
spoken word. Let's calm it down over there.
I don't love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the recipe
me
I
cook.
had picked for today, I was going to make little cookie pops that were each decorated like a clock.
Okay.
And I thought this is great. And then what happened last week was I was looking for snickerdoodle recipes and I found
Snickerdoodle!
snickerdoodles.
Snickerdoodles!
And I found two that I really, really liked. One was the snickerdoodle pancakes that I made and we
Yeah.
enjoyed for Twitches too. And the other was a snickerdoodle cheesecake.
God almighty. Just the best. Sounds like the best thing ever.
Which I didn't make because it's
Time.
really only for me and Dan.
That's right.
And Dan was sick last week. So I said, well, I'm going to save this cheesecake. I'll make it at another time.
Fair.
And now I'm just really aware of how often I say time and I hate it. And that time was now. So
Is this a snickerdoodle cheesecake?
yeah.
Wow.
Hell yeah, it is. Last week you texted me and I was like, listen, I'm still not great, but I'll power through for snickerdoodle cheesecake.
Well, yeah, I was like, of the desserts to make, it's a very heavy dessert, and you weren't feeling well. And I was like, I would hate to make this.
Hey,
Dan suffer through a
Tell
bite.
me I'm not eating a whole piece of this right now because I am. I 100% am.
So I hope it's great.
Me too.
I haven't tasted the final product, but every step along the way has been delicious.
Man.
And I would love to bake one of these every day in my house because it smelled
Oh, yeah.
so good.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna.
Brand
attempt-
loves cheesecake too, so that works
I'm
out well.
gonna give it a bite.
Well, that's why-
How do we cut it?
I don't know. I brought.
I think
a
Aaron's
I'll
probably
cut it.
nope.
I'll cut it.
The good thing is there is a bullseye there. There's a thing in the middle where you don't have to worry about where the middle is because Aaron already eyeballed that pretty well. it
I
looks
will
like.
say this though: be careful with that knife because all the first responders are off today.
Yeah, careful.
They gave them the day off.
They're not all. No,
They gave
I'm not
everybody
doing
the
this.
day off.
Brand's mad that he doesn't get
I'm
to
just
see
gonna-
big loud explosions on the day he's supposed to be. Oh, you're gonna have it.
I was just gonna cut it in like 8.
Okay.
The music's done.
Very exciting.
Wow. Give him that whole quarter. Give him a
No,
quarter.
no. It's
Give him
9:45
a quarter
in
of
the
a
morning.
cheesecake. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to actually try this thing. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So come on back for that here on
Decom Descendants. Thanks, Aaron.
Decondescendants.
It's like you're doing something over there.
Ba, 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 ba. Welcome back, everybody, to
Yeah,
Decom
boy.
Descendants. Aaron is.
Still-
I know that felt like a long break.
It felt like a long break. You'd think it was done by
but
now,
it's not. Guys,
this
I'm not
is
going to try
tough.
to lie.
No, it's not gonna work.
Uh-oh.
Oh, do you need to get like a spatula?
Just hand Dan the fork and let him go
Let
at
him
it.
go. Let him cook.
Let him go at it.
Oh dear God.
It's gonna be. You've got icing.
What
What
if-
frosting?
what if
is this?
what if I get you a napkin or something?
No,
It's too late.
There's tissues beside you. Yeah, this is just messy. I should have cut it beforehand. But then it messed up the aesthetics.
Hand me that knife. Hand me that knife and a plate.
Oh, this is great.
stuff.
Minutemen is what we're talking about today. January 25th, 2008.
Just let me know.
The first movie from 2008 to be released. which is exciting, and apparently a budget of $5 million, so just 20 mil less than Twitch's 2. For those of you that are counting at home, yeah. This movie is directed by Lev L. Spyro. And it is written by David Diamond and David Weissman. They said, if your name's not David, get out of here. Shove off. Not interested. Movie is starring Jason Dolly, Luke Binward, Nicholas Braun, Chelsea Staub, and some others.
You really did it there, buddy.
What?
Nailed it.
You read them all. You crushed it. All right, Lev.
It's Lev.
You want to get a bite of this one so you don't have to cut your own?
How was it?
Oh my God. It's so good.
Oh, he's excited.
It's so good.
How long did this take you, Aaron?
It's so good. New fave.
The cake itself takes like an hour and 45.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Are we ready to dive into Minutemen?
No, I'm gonna dive into this cake.
All right, I'll talk about Minutemen, and you guys just kind of hang out there and eat the cheesecake. We are at Somerton High School, home of the Rams. Go Rams!
Go Rams.
And the kids are showing up for their first day of school. Best friends Virgil, Derek, and Stephanie are excited about all the potential. And who isn't? You remember that first day of school,
First
Dan?
day of school.
First day of school, you're excited.
Take on the world.
You
Take
feel
on
like
the world.
the opportunity, like anything could happen. What happened there? Aaron?
That's weird.
Did she time travel?
Crazy.
It's nuts.
She left.
The first day, were you ever nervous on the first day of school? Dan? Hold on. Don't answer it yet. Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
I switched schools in between 6th and 7th grade.
Yeah.
First day of school, 7th grade, I was nervous.
Okay.
Middle
Aaron,
school.
Did you get nervous on the first day of school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Middle school.
But it was more like,
Excited.
did I pick out the right outfit?
Right.
Do I look okay? And then when you get to the as you get older and you have to start switching classes, it was like, am I going to get lost?
Yeah.
Do I know where I'm going?
You would lay out your clothes the night before?
First day of school, yeah.
Dan, did you ever do that?
Hell no. I didn't know I was wearing until I literally, still to this day, I don't know what I'm wearing until I get out of the shower. I'm just like, what am I wearing today?
Yeah, fair.
Black shirt.
Yeah, it's tough for you.
This is so good.
How do I decide? So Derek and Stephanie, they try out. Derek's going to try for the football team. She's going to try for the cheerleading team. Virgil is there just to make jokes. The football players are laughing. He's yucking it up. It's fun. Suddenly, a rocket cart goes onto the field, and it is being driven by Charlie. Charlie is.
Do we know why?
It's an experiment because he's a young genius.
He's a young genius scientist.
Yeah, he's like in high school, even though he's like 3 years younger. He's cool. So the football team.
Yeah, he's 11.
Yeah, football team sees this happen and then proceeds to like bump him around. They surround him and they're like, "Hey, got him." Virgil comes to his defense. They start bumping him as well. And then the football team proceeds.
And all adults on the field are just like, oh, it's just some light hazing.
Classic bullying.
We love it.
Football.
We love it. And they put them in cheerleading outfits, put makeup on them, hang them on the horns of the Rams.
Hang them on the
statue.
horns.
And again, adults, not around.
Doesn't matter. They
don't need
love
'em.
the bullying.
Yeah.
And that is how their high school careers start. That's a tough way to start.
I mean, spoiler, we will meet the vice principal later, and I think he does love the bullying.
He loves the bullying.
He loves the bullying.
We love the bullying. Fast forward
Timu
3
Jim
years.
Rash.
Yeah, no kidding. Fast forward 3 years, and we find out that Virgil and Charlie, they are best buddies. But they hang out with the nerds, right? And but Virgil isn't really friends with Derek and Stephanie anymore. Derek is the hotshot football player. He doesn't hang out with nerds, and Stephanie's dating Derek, and so therefore obviously hangs out with all the popular kids are all hanging out together.
Yeah.
What can you do? And so that's tough, but it is clear by the way that Virgil is just looking at Stephanie that he still has quite the crush on Stephanie. And she is at least nice enough to like talk to him when they have the opportunity to talk, like, "Hey, Virg, how you doing?" Stuff like that. That's nice.
It's really good, Stephanie.
Thank you. Hey. Charlie pulls Virgil out of class one day to show him something on a computer that he's been working on.
AV Club emergency.
It's an AV Club emergency. emergency.
My favorite part is they bust into the AV room and everyone stands and salutes Charlie.
Yeah. I love that.
And Virgil says, "I'm not doing that."
Well, it's listen, Charlie, you salute Charlie. He says that he pulls it up on their computer, and what they're looking at is a practical simulation of time travel.
Of course, practical simulation.
The idea of time travel it's right here for the taking, and we just have to execute it. He wants Virgil to help build this time machine that clearly will work. But neither of them are very mechanical, Luckily, there's a new student in school who rides in on a motorcycle. And if you ride in on a motorcycle, you're immediately mechanical. You know how to work on stuff and you got muscles. And so they go up to Zeke is his name. And they're like, "Hey, Zeke, will you help us out with this time travel project?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure. Whatever."
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. I'm just saying, whatever.
I'm brooding.
Whatever.
But I'll help you with your dumb project.
This is whatever.
Played by Nicholas Braun, who goes on to be in Succession, and his comedic timing is unparalleled. And I don't know what he's doing.
He got
in this
that
movie.
training here on the Disney Channel.
On the set of Minutemen.
And
for sure.
gosh, the letterbox reviews about him,
dude, he's so much taller than everyone else.
Just not safe for work.
Really?
Not safe for this
about
show.
Nicholas Braun?
The things people wrote about this man.
I need to know.
It's not.
All right, you keep reading.
I'm gonna go to Letterboxd and figure this out.
Really like him. People really like him. Is all I'm saying.
They really like him.
Yeah, they really like him.
I thought they were.
They really like him, and they would like for him to do things to them, and then return the favor.
All right, I think we
A
got
lot
it.
of that. So they work together in the school basement, I guess, to build this time machine. They turn it on and they test it with a cat. The cat comes back. The cat's wearing a little wristwatch and says the cat is now 1 minute behind. Clearly, that means that it works. Right? And so, you found the reviews.
No, I found a different one.
Oh, okay.
The one about Endgame.
Yeah. So they work together and they decide, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back.
That's funny. I want Brain to read that one.
We have I read one I think similar, but sure I can read that one. Anyway, they decide cat time traveled good enough for us. We can do this. They go back in time with the lottery ticket, the winning lottery numbers to try to, get rich quick, right? And it's there at the gas station that they find out that they need an ID in order to purchase said lottery ticket. So they go up to this guy who is outside of the gas station who's doing performative art as a statue.
Of course. Yeah.
You know how you do.
It's a freeze boy.
It's a freeze boy situation in front of the gas station. Don't worry about it. And they're like, "Hey, will you go in and buy the lottery ticket for us?" And he's, yes, thumbs up. But they have to run back in order to make it back in time, I guess. And so when they come back the next day, they find out that he bought it. He's going to keep it for himself. This statue guy is now very rich.
Get out. No kidding.
Yes.
Of course he is.
And
this
so-
is the worst part of their entire plan.
It's the worst part.
Buy a lottery ticket. We'll come back at noon tomorrow.
Yeah.
Stupid.
He was, if you win,
Letterboxd loves him.
they love him.
Letterboxd loves Nicholas Braun.
That's all I'm saying.
I didn't see it coming.
That's all I'm saying.
Every comment is about
It's a
him.
lot.
Nothing
It's
in
a
that
lot.
movie said, "Oh well, the ladies are going to really like Nicholas Braun." I didn't see it. I
had to take a shower after reading those reviews.
I'm a
I
big
felt
fan of
dirty.
Nicholas Braun. I think he's hysterical, but this is crazy.
Yeah, people really like him. Is all I'm going to say. And so now they're like, well, what are we going to use this power for? We can time travel. What are we going to do?
Well, they tried to make millions and that didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. And so it finally all clicks in for them after they see one of their fellow nerds getting bullied. Derek and his football buddies stole the clothes of one of the nerds.
No, they weren't the football buddies. They were they weren't football kids. They were just like random bullies.
Okay.
Because they get bullied later and it's
Okay. Him and his bully buddies. This is BBs. And they steal the clothes from the locker of one of the nerd kids, and he has to run around the school naked.
and then they steal his towel.
The vice principal is like, "I can't believe you're naked. You're going to get in trouble for this."
He's like, they're standing right there with my clothes and he's
Giggling. My
He
hands
was
are
like,
tied.
I don't. Yeah,
you know
I
the
can't
rules.
do anything about this.
So they decide that they're going to use their time travel skills for good. So they
I
get
can't get over these reviews.
They're wild.
This is
it's a lot.
I know we're supposed to be in comm chat, not the next one, but this is wild.
People really like them.
People love Zeke.
They love Zeke.
The ladies especially.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So they decide, one, we want to do this, but we don't want people to know that it's us. So they get these snowsuits because it's cold time traveling with these masks to make sure that their identity is hidden. And then they bring clothes and they put it in the kid's locker, and he now has these cool clothes that he can wear. And all the bullies are like, "What? How'd this happen?" And then the snowsuit guys, they go running down the hallway, and everybody's like, "Whoa, who are these guys?" And that's kind of their whole thing. They're going to help people not get bullied, which is nice, right? They go and they help this kid not slip while he's delivering the food. They go and they help this girl with her drool issue. They are local heroes. They're local heroes. And everybody wants to know who the snowsuit guys are.
The snowsuit guys. We're the Minutemen.
Yes.
Well,
We're the
clearly it's
Oneaters.
easy for me. It's easy to figure out who one of the snowsuit guys is because
He's 6'7"
how many
in
kids
high school.
How many kids in that school are 6'7"?
Yeah.
Man, who is the one tall, gangly looking fella? Like, you can't listen when you're. I know
Is there
this.
a group of 3 kids in this school? One really tall, one really short, and like who
They
hang out?
literally, no one in this movie talks about the height
at
of
6'5" as a senior in high school. 60 kids in my graduating class. I walked the halls and could just see everyone down the whole hallway. No one in my class was as tall as I was in 60 people. This guy's 6'7". That is, you're going to see him. You're going to notice him. He's a foot taller than the other 2 snowsuit guys.
He's a big boy. He's
Good
a big
God.
boy. That's
We have no way of knowing.
there's no
who
way
it
to
is.
know.
That's crazy.
We can suspect. There's no way to know. So you might be wondering to yourself, what could possibly go wrong? They are
Nothing.
saving the day. They are helping kids that are getting bullied. Well, here's the problem. The feds begin to check them out because they're getting some weird readings and stuff. And Charlie comes clean to his buddies. Some of the files that they used for the machine and the whole theory of time travel, he may have stolen them from
They robbed
NASA.
NASA.
They robbed NASA.
They robbed
NASA.
NASA.
We robbed
everybody.
NASA.
Yeah.
And Virgil.
And the best part of this is that Charlie didn't copy the files from
No.
NASA. He took them,
straight up stole them.
stole them. Because
stole 'em, yeah,
at
yeah.
one point, Virgil's like, aren't they going to notice they're missing? And I just feel like, buddy, you just copy those files.
Yeah, because then you won't see, you won't
Then
know.
they'll never notice anything's missing. They may be able to detect that
he-
somebody was poking around in their system, but
He'd copy
you
them
just took
to.
them. You just took them. You just straight up robbed NASA.
He copied them to his hard drive and then deleted them from
That's
their
right.
computer.
NASA's never going to know it hit him.
So
What are you doing?
Virgil is like,
Just touching bare knees over here? This isn't workplace appropriate.
no.
I don't like. What are you like?
Maybe we really should have been like the first responders and taken the
Should
day
we
off.
call it a day?
Yeah. Everyone
I had
else
a
is.
hair. I was just trying to take the hair off.
Everyone else
I'm
is calling
sorry
it a
that your
day.
bare knee is right there.
My left leg doesn't bend. You know that.
Man.
You know what? This is your fault. Your knees
It's
should be
not my
covered.
fault.
Your knees should be covered.
You're telling me it's what I wore?
Yeah,
that was
I
the
am.
problem?
I'm telling you, it's what you wore.
I should have thought about what I wore before I left the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your knees asked.
Finally, I'm not the only one that's made that argument in the office. It's one of those things where you go like this and it makes a design, and you expect us not to touch it.
Yeah, you just no consent touched her jacket. That's true.
It was one of those,
Yeah.
Yeah. You can check out our Xenon episode for that.
Sheesh.
Clearly it stuck with you because you remember the episode.
How many times have I worn that jacket?
That's true. It was a Xenon specific jacket.
Yeah.
It was a Xenon specific
Yeah,
jacket.
it was themed.
It was
It
themed.
was themed.
You
My
love themed.
shorts are just what I wear every day.
Yeah. And you know that. And you
Added to the list.
Should we just?
I mean, you
Added
already
to the
made him a
list.
cheesecake, Aaron.
That's right.
Like,
Just because you made me a cheesecake doesn't mean you can touch my bare knee. God, it's not transactional.
You know what? I'm gonna take tomorrow off. And
You
just
do that.
think about what I
do
Yes.
like the first responders. So
just think about what I did.
they are
No EMTs are getting the day off tomorrow or today or whatever. Not happening.
then still do the fireworks. So Virgil is like, I'm sure it's not a big deal. You know what? Like we're just helping people, right? But they're like, maybe we should pump the brakes on time traveling.
Maybe
for
we should
just
give it
a little
bit of a hiatus.
But then Virgil sees that Stephanie broke her leg. They have to.
Yeah.
They have.
Stephanie
And it's-
broke her
it's-
leg.
well,
It's
she's-
Stephanie.
She's the top of the cheerleading pyramid.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
fell and broke her leg. Just the day before, she had told Virgil that she had gotten accepted to her dream school.
Yes, and we all know the name of it.
And we all remember it because it was
V
not
for Vendetta or something. I don't remember.
TVCU. Williams. I don't know. But she was like a finalist, or she was waiting to hear about some like cheerleading scholarship.
It would have really sealed the deal.
And
it
so by breaking
possible.
her leg, she loses out on the scholarship,
That's
I
right.
guess.
So they do go back. They do save her. And right after he catches her to stop her, what does he say? What's the thing he says that's like the giveaway for her that's Virgil? It's like, don't.
I'm Virgil.
Like, go away.
It's like, don't blink. Something like it's
Something
sort
only
of
Verge
thing.
would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she has this
Oh,
like,
I
no.
mean, doesn't he say like "get off me" or something?
It's
Like
something-
It's something where it's like she basically, I
back
think,
off or something.
yeah. There's some world where she like kisses him to say thank you, and he is just like "get off me," and she's just like, "That was you."
She has a knowing look on her face
Yeah.
when he runs off, and so
Which fair, they've been best friends since they were young children.
that's right.
Yeah.
I would imagine that close up, you would.
You would probably figure it out.
Well, and Zeke.
I mean,
Zeke's a
also
giant.
there's a 6'7"
So, yeah,
dude
and you've
who's
been
a foot
hanging
taller.
out with
Yeah,
Zeke.
And you could start to put those pieces together.
Virgil's been hanging out with
Yeah.
Zeke, and
This
see
guy looks and sounds a lot like my best friend from childhood.
Yes.
And he's hanging out. The snowman is hanging out with the 6'7" guy. And Virgil's also.
Yeah.
There's just pieces all over.
even without the weird whatever it is that he said that
she figures it out.
yeah, she figures it
And
out.
we're just gonna. I'm gonna do a little callback to a bad movie, Green Lantern, starring Ryan Reynolds
Oh.
and Blake Lively.
Sure.
And
worst.
The only
But we
part of
love
that,
the couple.
Do we?
the only part of that movie that I like is where he shows up at her house, all in his superhero costume, trying to impress her, and she's like, "I know it's you." And he's like, how could you know it's me? I'm a superhero. And she's like, we've been best friends forever. You think a mask is going to stop me from recognizing you? And
Probably
just
is the
like,
best part of that movie.
it's the best part of the movie because
Yeah.
it like
That's right.
Superman and Lois Lane, girl, you work with him every single day. He takes off his glasses and now you don't like stop
Yes.
it. So I really like I enjoyed that part where she was
You
just
know what's crazy is in the new Superman, which comes out next week, the trailers now are showcasing, like, there's a scene in the new trailer where somebody, I think Jimmy at the Daily Planet, goes, "You're getting a lot of articles on Superman somehow." And then Lois Lane is at Superman's house, Clark's house, and she goes, "People are going to put it together." Like they're like
I love that.
acknowledging that in the trailer.
it's
of
just
this
so
movie.
hard because like you're telling me that Lois Lane is supposed to be this like top-notch journalist, like
yeah.
the best in her field, and she can't recognize someone
No.
without glasses.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's tough. It's
So
tough
anyway,
out there.
good job. I've already forgot her name, Stephanie. Good job
Stephanie,
on you
for putting the
recognizing
pieces
your best
together.
friend.
Yes.
A mask, guys, is not all it's going to take.
Especially
Yes.
when the mask is just goggles.
Yep.
Yes. And so when they get back, she does confront him and is like, I know it's you, blah, blah, all that stuff. And then
And he's
they,
like, "How would I do that?" And she's like, "That's what I want to know."
yeah, but how could I possibly time travel? They also begin to realize that people's lives that they have saved have begun to change, but not for the
Butterfly
better.
effect.
Yeah.
Robot guy who won the lottery suing an old lady, and we don't get any more information about that.
We just know he's a millionaire that wants to sue old ladies. That's all we
Yeah.
know.
we don't know what those old ladies did though.
We don't know.
No.
We don't know all of the backstory.
No. The guy who got his clothes taken, now
Now
he's,
he's
a
a
bully.
bully.
Now
He got
he's a
one
bully.
fresh fit, one new set of clothes,
Which
and now
he
he's
has worn every day.
so cool with his flat bill hat and his one outfit. He's now just making fun of the jocks and the whole
And
social
that's what
order.
tips the vice principal off.
That's right.
Because he's like, the bullies used to be the bullies, but now the nerds are bullying the bullies.
How dare
and
they?
I don't like this.
We have an ecosystem.
Yeah, he's okay with bullies as long as there's
as long as the
certain
bullies are not at the bottom.
And it just so happens that this nerd is of a different race than all the other bullies.
It does.
I'm
Just
cool
so
with the white
happen.
jocks bullying,
Yeah.
but the black nerds, we can't have this.
Yeah.
It's not the best look for the Minutemen movie.
It's not. It's not. But here we are. That
Bramble Jam podcast.
that nerd turned bully ends up running around the football field
Streaking.
in his underwear.
High school streaking.
He's comfortable
Yes.
now with in his own skin, and distracts the players in the field. Derek ends up fumbling the ball, and that costs him
6
the
seconds
game.
left.
Yep.
So
This guy
Stephanie-
decides to go streaking with 6 seconds left in a championship game. That's bold. That's
That's
bold.
bold.
That's bold.
That is the ultimate bully job.
That's
though,
the
isn't
ultimate
it?
bully job. You
Like,
tried to
all
make
these
me walk out here in my underwear. Look what I'm doing to you. I'm going to ruin everybody's day.
Honestly, pretty cool.
That's a BA move.
Pretty cool.
That is the confidence of this guy went from a 0 to an 1,000 out of 10.
If they didn't show
It's
if
crazy.
the previous scene wasn't Chester bullying people,
Yeah.
Chester would be the hero of this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the ultimate.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's the ultimate
but we
FU.
don't. But we don't.
No,
We don't get that.
he was
He's a
bullying
bully.
people.
So,
This is like a villain origin story for this guy.
It is.
Chester is
It
like
really
the
is.
mastermind villain. Yeah.
yeah. So Stephanie asks Virgil to help. Like, I know that you can time travel. Can you
Well,
go
before
help?
she asks, she tells Derek everything. So now Derek knows.
Yeah, which is tough. And they do invite Virgil to a party.
Yes.
After that, I think they tell him, and he's like, "Okay, I'll help" or whatever, and he does, and they invite him to the party. And Virgil's like, "I'm conflicted because I had plans to go to Charlie's house and watch the top 10 hailstorms of all time on the Weather Channel."
Which we took a vote here in studio. Dan and I went to the party.
Yeah.
Bran did go hang out with Charlie.
I got to be honest. I wasn't a huge fan of going to parties in high school. Having said that, I am never choosing the top 10 anything on the Weather Channel
You're missing
over
out.
going to the parties.
You're missing out.
No, I'm not.
You're
Yeah.
flat out missing out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to that party
Yeah.
and
You
pull
can't
up Virgil.
definitively
I'm
say
just gonna
no.
stand in front of the window doing the sprinkler. And
Before my wife and I were dating, have I told this story? My wife and I were hanging out, but not dating in high school.
All right,
I
okay.
left a party where we were hanging out together because CSI was coming on.
that's fair.
We're literally like getting fairly
This
serious.
was before like DVR.
Before DVR.
Yeah, you had to get that.
It was CSI's first season. It was a big deal. I didn't say that, but it was an actual party, a few dozen people, but we are hanging out. And I said, I'm taking off. I got to go. It's just, I'm going to take off. I've been here a few hours and I got home in time for CSI. That's a real thing that I
and
did.
you still got the girl. So like
And I still
win-win.
got the girl.
Win-win for everyone.
That's right. Yeah.
And
So-
did they still CSI?
say what?
Did they still CSI?
Did they still CSI?
Yeah.
Yeah, they still CSI'd.
Great.
So I got
So it's
everything.
a win-win.
Yeah.
When we started dating, we started watching CSI on Friday nights together.
Oh, so you could leave parties together
Yeah,
to go watch it.
you get it.
That's the
I think
dream.
that's-
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Sometimes
All
we
you
recorded
really
it.
want in life is to find that person you can ditch out on parties and watch CSI
Sometimes
with.
we recorded on a VHS tape.
That's
That's how old we are.
That's a Hallmark movie right there. That's
right.
It's just like, you like CSI too? It's
Love
a,
it, the
It's
crime
a
scene.
5-minute movie.
Love it, the crime scene.
It's a short.
It's a short.
Hallmark's getting the short
Yeah.
game. Okay, so he ends up bailing on Charlie to go to the party, and
Yeah, and bummer for him. Apparently, Derek and Charlie live across the street from each other.
That is
and
unfortunate.
Virgil
That's tough. Yeah.
meant to call him, doesn't call him. We get this scene where literally Virgil is framed in the window that faces Charlie's bedroom.
It's like Harry and Marv watching the fake party at Home Alone. Guys,
Do you remember that? This
Virgil's in the window, just like
the whole time he's
Yeah.
the whole
Charlie's
time.
dancing hard.
Charlie's just standing there staring.
This
at him.
party, guys, I want to be clear. This high school rager starts at daytime. It
Yeah.
goes to nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
And then we find out at the very end, it is directly across the street.
That's wild. Which actually upset me because it made me want. You guys remember that Boy Meets World episode where they have to, Corey and Shauna have to keep running between
The party.
and the
Yes.
wrestling
Topanga's
match?
Yes.
16th
Yeah.
birthday.
Yes.
We could have had that fun.
Yeah.
Like, I could have been
Oh,
running back.
hijinks.
Yeah.
It's a commercial. I got to go to the bathroom. Why were you in the bathroom so long? It would have been great.
Great time.
We
Yeah.
didn't get that.
We
just get
but
Derek.
it's such
He
an
just blows them off
easily
altogether.
We just get
solvable-
Charlie looking across the street.
Like, why is this even a problem? If it's across the street. How long could the top 10 hailstorms last? Brand, how long does that last?
That's probably an hour special.
It's an hour special. You stay with him for an hour and you go back to the party. I don't like. This was easy. It's a literal 1 minute walk.
yeah, honestly, couldn't have worked out better for him.
Yeah.
in that case,
He just forgot.
he
Yeah.
just forgot.
He had been partying for at least 3 straight hours.
The
and he was
only
like,
thing that would have made that scene better
He just was like, I need to call Charlie. And he kept saying that over and over again and never
never
which,
did it.
To be fair, I mean, listen, buddy, just cancel those plans. But sorry, I just touched it.
God almighty.
one heck of a cheesesteak.
This is
I have been known to be like, oh, I have to text this person. And then I just straight up don't.
But
And I want to be clear, I didn't touch his bare knee. I was in my swivel
it was
chair.
that was
and
that
I,
was
that was a
that was
swivel.
shoe. Yes,
That
that
was
was
my
a
shoe.
But can
shoe
you?
on bare leg.
I wish the scene would have
So
ended
better.
with Charlie looking across the street at Virgil dancing, and he's dancing, and then he sees him across the street, and he just goes,
Hey,
Yeah,
buddy.
no,
Hey.
Virgil doesn't notice. Virgil is
He
too
doesn't
into
know.
his
He's too into the
dance
dance. He's a dancer, and that's sad. So then Derek ends up cheating on Stephanie. That's sad. And Virgil runs over to comfort her, once again bailing on Charlie. Charlie's starting to feel real bad.
Charlie.
And then things go from
Sorry,
bad
Charlie.
to worse because the FBI picks up Charlie, Virgil, and Zeke, and they end up letting them go. And they're like, okay, whatever, go your own way. And they end up, and that's fine
Man,
for
that
the
would have been
friends.
a great moment for us to all break into the Vanessa Hudgens song, Gotta Go My Own Way.
But then we went
Gotta
with the
go my own way.
guys. How
What
dare you?
about
In the same
Zeke?
sentence as
What
Fleetwood
about
Mac. How dare you?
everything we've been through?
But what about hell?
Oh boy.
You know,
You know it never wanted to hurt you. We're having fun.
Are we?
And so they're basically not friends anymore, is what it comes down to.
they're all, they got to go their own ways.
But what? So Charlie is concerned over what they've done, so he runs some more. He runs the numbers, and he figures out that he has created a dark hole, a wormhole.
It's
A
another great part.
wormhole. Is
It's
it
a
warm?
wor-
It's not
it's
cool.
warm.
They've warmed it up a little bit.
It's a wormhole.
A wormhole.
I believe it's a black hole.
Are
It's
you
a black hole.
European?
It's a wormhole.
It's a wormhole.
and the best
Look
part-
at that Warwelf over there. Oh.
The best part of this scene is he's showing. There's this girl who's
Yeah.
just been in love with Charlie the whole time, so she's been helping him out, and he is showing her this diagnostic. It's showing the time travel loop, but now it's like flashing red.
Yeah, and
And
that's how you
she's
know
just
it's
like,
bad.
I gotta be honest, I don't know what this means.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
And I'm like, yeah, Charlie, it just looks like your diagram is now red instead of white.
Yeah.
Use your words, buddy.
So he runs to the FBI and he's like, I did steal from NASA and it's not good. Things are good. Like, you can see
Yeah.
it's flashing red. It's not good.
yeah, you guys are scientists. You know what red means.
Virgil and Stephanie go to the sock hop dance together. And they win king and queen of the sock hop thanks to Virgil time traveling to stuff the ballot box. And he's out of control. You can't time travel to stuff the ballot box. You can't do that.
You can't do that.
They are dancing. They're about to kiss, but Derek interrupts him to go through with their plan. Derek is trying to get Virgil to time travel to stop Derek from cheating on Stephanie, basically, and so that they can stay together and all that good stuff. And so, or at the very least, stop her from finding out that he's cheating.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's fine with still continuing with the kiss as long as she doesn't find out about it. So Charlie ends up showing up and is like, you can't time travel again. We have less than an hour to save the world, or else we're all going to be pulled into this wormhole.
Black hole.
That's a wormhole.
That's a
You can just call it
wormhole.
a black hole.
I'll call it a block. That's a black hole. All of
I don't know
the
if we needed a voice.
I don't know. All of the authorities show up and they're like, "Show us your gear so that we can fix things."
Show us your gear.
It's gear talk with the boys. But the Minutemen decide, you know what? This is our problem. We're going to fix it. We're going to jump through the black hole and we are going to save the day.
Yep.
So they do.
And they
And it-
slow-mo walk
Yeah.
down several halls in a
Yes.
scene that lasts
Half the movie.
ages.
Yeah, it's a very long
when
scene.
time
Yeah.
is of the essence. They're getting applauded for like they're astronauts going to space. It is the weirdest scene of this movie,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But what
But
can you
there's
do?
Nicholas Braun stands out there getting an eyeful.
They love
I mean,
the
it's a
slow-mo-
slow-mo walk from
slow-mo
Braun.
Braun. It's a slow-mo brawn.
Slow-mo brawn situation.
So it shoots them out back at the first day of high school. Do you remember the day?
Yep.
And they get to the football field. They see that they're about to be bullied. And Virgil is like, awesome. I can stop this from happening so that we never have to be, bullied and all that stuff.
Well, no, he's not going to stop the bullying from happening. He's going to stop himself from standing up for Charlie. He's going to let Charlie get bullied.
Yes.
He's going to stop himself from standing up so that he can
They
stay
can
friends
stay
with Derek and
friends.
Stephanie.
Right. And Charlie,
What a trooper.
Charlie gives this whole speech about how I don't want anybody to stop it because it's the day that we became friends. Even though it was a hard day, it's also the best day because I found my best buddy. But you do what you have to do. And so Virgil ultimately decides, what, he's right. And so that's nice. He goes and he picks him up in the rocket cart. And they decide,
Charlie and Zeke are running out of time.
I guess our job here's done. And they get
They
back to the
I
black.
don't know what they did.
I don't know what they did
fixed
either.
It.
They chose friendship.
Yep. Nailed it.
So they get through they go back to through the black hole, and it shoots them back out on the school football field, and everything seems normal, which is great, but they don't know what day it is. It turns out it's the day that they first time traveled, which is wonderful. And I guess that means they saved a day. Virgil tells Derek, hey, go kick rocks. And also, why don't you go kiss that girl? He's like, how'd you know about that? And then
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
Yes.
Then he talks to Stephanie. He shoots his shot. She's not upset about it, even though her and Derek they didn't break up yet. And the Minutemen are off to have another weird experiment. And that's the Minutemen.
That's the Minutemen, everybody.
The Minutemen. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and we are going to talk about this movie a little bit more here on
Decom
Descendants.
Nailed it.
Welcome back, everybody. We're talking Minutemen today. It's time for overtime. I'm going to do my best, everybody. I'm going to do my best to find reviews that are
Appropriate.
above board.
I mean, you could read some fun ones.
Minutemen walked so that Endgame could eat my ass. Is that the one you wanted me to read?
Yes, it was.
All right. Well,
Just
right out of the gate.
I'm so glad we have a PG-13 podcast here at Bramble Jam now.
Sarah says
Lee, clip it, Lee. Clip it. You can take out the Minutemen part.
No.
Just Avengers can from there. That's all we need from Lee. Come on, Lee.
Sarah says Interstellar wants what Minuteman has.
Oh my God! Now let's hold on.
Frog
a damn
Jail
second.
says 5 stars. Anybody who rates this lower than 5 stars is a coward. Plap says 5 stars. The girls who fawn over Nicholas Braun's character out of nowhere are credited as Zeke freaks. And ladies, I have to agree.
Zeke freaks.
Jaden was funny, says 1 star. They're actually calling him Verge to make fun of him for getting no ass. Mac says 4 stars. Why didn't they stop the Kennedy assassination?
Oh boy.
And then Taylor says 4 stars. Christopher Nolan would be nothing without this film.
Oh my goodness.
It's time to share our thoughts on this movie. I'll start with you, Aaron. Aaron, if I recall correctly, this is a movie that you didn't watch because boys. Is that right?
You were not a Zeke freak.
This was
There's
a boy
one
movie.
more
Okay,
that I'm
yeah,
just
sure.
gonna read. It just says, "I love Tenet."
That's funny. That's funny.
I love Tenet.
Oh man. Yeah.
Now you have seen it.
Now I have seen
And
it.
boys.
And boys.
What are your thoughts on Minutemen?
Yeah, I mean, I understand why at the time 17-year-old Aaron didn't watch this movie. I think the first 40 minutes of this movie are awful. They just drag by. I, at one point, checked the time and realized that we weren't even halfway through and could not believe it. I thought we were heading into the all is lost moment. We weren't there yet.
Nope. I had another 20.
Had another 20 just to get to that moment.
Yes.
We still had like 45 minutes in the movie. And so that, I was like, this movie is just boring. I was playing on my phone. I mean, once they start the time travel and then there's like some hijinks, the movie does pick up and I really enjoyed it. I don't think it quite landed the plane. I'm as you can tell in
Very fuzzy.
we're very unclear of what they went back in time
And did.
to
save the world.
I don't think we have a pretty good grasp on what they showed us. They
Right,
didn't
but-
do anything.
They didn't do
But
anything.
that's the thing is like the movie didn't know what to do.
It's
and
not
so
like we missed it.
Unless going back to the original moment was all they needed to do. Which is not a
Somehow-
great explanation, but that's the only one I can
somehow
think
they
of.
had to go back in time to the first day of school.
So
just
my whole-
so Virgil could have this crisis of faith, and then they had to then they went back to the first day they time traveled and just like didn't time travel.
Yeah.
So now are they living in that timeline as the only people who know what could have happened?
They are. Yeah.
Great.
sure.
I have a lot of questions. I'm like Dan, and I will let Dan talk about his love of time travel in his own overtime. I don't love time travel movies.
Aaron.
When they are done like this, where you're not sure what the rules are, you're not sure what, like, it's fuzzy and it's hazy and it makes me uncomfortable. I think there are movies that do it well, and that's, and I do enjoy those. This one, the middle part of it, loved it. I had a great time. Hijinks, we're going back in time, we're saving people. Great premise. I just don't think it took off well, and I don't think it landed well. But there was like a good 30 minutes in the middle where I had a great time.
I think that this movie slaps by and large. I think that it's really fun. I think you have this one really fun group of friends. The three guys here are really fun. You have a romantic storyline that for like once in a decom wasn't creepy. It didn't really feel like
They had good chemistry.
as weird
Yeah.
as some of the other romantic storylines that DComs have tried to like throw into it.
Well, that's
And
why
so-
that's why we had to have at the very end where he shoots his shot and she accepts,
Yeah.
but she's still dating Derek.
Yeah.
They had to make it
They
creepy
had
They had to
somehow.
do
They had to
something to
figure out
make it a
some way
little.
to-
Yeah.
For me, this is very close to being a top 10 movie, if not for the ending where they really fumble how to save it. And that's a big, it's such a big part of the movie. The time travel element is the movie. And so to not have a good explanation for how they save it, really, it hinders the movie and it makes it, takes it from being great to being, for me, really good. And so, unfortunately, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. It's not going to be in my top 10 for that reason.
Spoiler.
Up until the end, it's right there, right? It's knocking at the door on top 10, but not having any sort of real good explanation for how they saved the day is tough. And, for a movie that's all about time travel. And up until that point, I felt, did they nail it all? No, but they did a really fun job of doing time travel for kids. Like kids using time travel to stop bullies is great and very fun. And unfortunately they fumbled it a bit at the end. And so, I'm bummed by that, but overall really, really enjoyed the movie. Dano?
I'm glad you're both sitting down because I'm going to pitch something to you it's going to rock your world. A Minutemen Tiger Cruise sequel where the Minutemen go to the aircraft carrier and
stop
talk
9/11.
Bill Pullman and Hayden Panettiere into stopping 9/11. I'm so here for this idea. I'm so here for this idea for so many reasons. I just love the idea of kids tackling Al-Qaeda in 2001. And I'm sorry if you're offended by that. Never forget, I understand. But the idea of these teenagers banding together with Bill Pullman giving speeches and them finding a way to stop the terrorist attacks of 9/11.
And to that point, Dan, do you know what's better than never forgetting? Not having to remember.
The night they played the Titans. That's
exactly right.
exactly right.
Really strong idea.
Yeah.
Really. And I do I love the idea of these kids who, this is 2008.
Yes.
It's still close enough to where surely one of them mentioned it, right?
You would think,
Like,
but that's
hey,
my thing is like, whenever we do time travel,
we go bigger?
Whenever there's time travel movies, there's always like the review. Why didn't they stop the Kennedy assassination? Why didn't they go kill Hitler? Like, why not Disney Channel, if you're going to make a completely tone deaf,
Like, just do it. Just go all the way.
offensive movie like Tiger Cruise,
Just go all the way.
why not do it and do it right? Like, I'm not saying the movie tonally is great. What I'm saying is you made Tiger Cruise, and it's an abhorrent experience for all involved. Why not do it and fix it?
Is it because if everything that they did turned bad, everything that they went back to change for the good ended up being bad?
But you posit that not everything, because he does finally like get the girl, right? And he wouldn't have gotten the girl if he didn't time travel.
Well, they had to go back and undo all the time
That's
travel. I'm just saying
this.
Everybody they saved ended up being worse.
So I love,
So
I love,
do
that's
we-
true. That's true. They do have a butterfly effect where,
So
this operates
do
under
we
the same.
stop 9/11, but then we get something even worse? Like what?
If I don't think the movie guarantees something
Mm-hmm.
worse every time. I don't think it does that. I think it guarantees different. Like them bullying
And I want to make
the dude
again.
in
I
the
want to make it.
bathroom versus the dude bullying them. I don't think that's worse. I think what he's doing is kind of vindicated. I don't think it promises something worse. I do think
And
it
we don't know
promises
what that old lady did.
different. We don't know what that old lady did. We don't know what she did.
Like, obviously, we don't want. No,
Here's what
we
I'm
don't want
saying.
anyone to get.
Here's what I'm
sued.
saying. I love time travel stuff. I unabashedly love it. If you have a time travel podcast and you're listening, please invite me on your podcast. I love it. I don't want to get time travel nerdy here. Their premise of time travel.
Do it. Get time travel.
Their
nerdy.
premise of time travel is single timeline, multiple versions, butterfly effect. That is the same premise of Prisoner of Azkaban. Same timeline, multiple versions, butterfly effect. But the difference is the butterfly effect in Prisoner of Azkaban is positive. It's not negative. It's positive. Hermione and Harry go back and they play a second version of themselves that helps their other version. That's what they do in this movie. The problem is, I really like this movie. I like time travel. If I was 12, I would have freaking loved this movie. But Aaron's not wrong. They don't land the plane. And I don't think it's about what Bran had a problem with. Like the fact that they didn't explain what they did. It's a decom. I would be able to forgive that. My problem is that it's overstuffed. Like when you do anything time travel, this is not a pun. Like time is of the essence. And so you have to determine, that was just not worthy of a giggle. I wasn't trying to make a joke. Okay. You have to determine and prioritize what the thing is you're ultimately trying to stop. And they throw in this wormhole, as Bran said. They throw in this wormhole at the very end instead of, like, the better version of this movie is the wormhole appears immediately, and they're so addicted to time travel and doing their little fix-em-ups that they just don't deal with it. And so instead of that, we get a plot that is, it's like everybody has kind of a love interest. Even Zeke has two girls that are just fawning over him.
Zeke
all the time.
freaks.
The Zeke freaks. I like, there's just the breadth of what this movie is trying to accomplish is not sustainable for a 90-minute decom. And so for Erin, when she looked and it was 44 minutes in and 46 minutes left, that's the weight of a movie for someone that doesn't like time travel. That's what that is. For me, if the wormhole starts at the beginning and then you can put some of these things on the back burner or maybe delete one of those storylines or two, this is one of the best movies that I think decom.
I think
that
if we'd
Disney ever
gotten
made.
into the hijinks a little sooner.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree with that.
But we just had so much of like laying the groundwork of
Yeah.
they were friends, they're not friends,
Yeah.
now he's a nerd.
I just think there was too many plates that they were trying to spin.
Yes, there was just a lot.
Yeah.
Like, there is a really good movie in here.
Yes, and I think when I enjoyed it,
And maybe if I'd watched it, maybe if I was a 12-year-old boy
Yeah.
in 2008, different story.
Yes.
But I was a 17-year-old girl and I said,
no, and that's fair. I mean, if I would be curious as to how my kids would feel about this movie being 9 years old. I do think from a watchability standpoint,
should Sharon come over
this
and
is
watch this movie?
you should. Well, you don't even like I don't know if you choose
You would
High
watch
School
High School
Musical.
Musical.
Yeah,
I
just
still haven't
think
seen High School Musical.
I think from a
Sharon.
watchability,
I mean, I'd watch anything.
from a watchability perspective, this movie's up there. Is it the movies in my top 10 are all pretty much even 11 because High School Musical gets a 10 of 10 at doing what it set out to do. All of my top 10 gets a 10 of 10 at doing what it set out to do. This movie, tries to do a lot. It doesn't always accomplish it. When it does, it really works for me. But when it doesn't, it's unfortunate. And I think they could have really made, I don't even think you have to lessen the runtime. I think they could have reworked some story stuff and made a really, really fun movie that works for all ages. But I'm not mad at it. I was entertained. So there's that.
Let's get to our rankings. Let's make that list. The M of DCOM.
Yep. You get it.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Where are you putting Minutemen?
I have moved Minutemen around a lot because the parts of this movie that I enjoyed, I really enjoyed. And so if you took like the middle 40 or whatever, like that movie's going to rank probably in my top 20. But unfortunately, I'm grading this as a whole. And so this is going to premiere on my list at 30, right ahead of Full Court Miracle and right behind the Cheetah Girls. Because the Cheetah Girls is also a train wreck, but overall, I enjoy more of that
Full
movie.
Court Miracle, boys.
Yeah, it's going to be right there with
It's the boys movies.
It's the boys movies where I get it. You were trying to reach a demographic, and I didn't care for
not-
that.
Sometimes you got to pour one out for the boys.
It wasn't for you then. It wasn't for you now.
Yeah.
Saturday was for the boys.
You get it, brother.
How dumb is that idea?
Saturdays for the
Saturday-
Dude,
Saturdays
it's
are for
still
the
a
boys.
thing. It's still a thing.
It's hilarious. It started when I was in college. That literally, even when I was in college, I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
every day is for the boys.
Are you so afraid of conflict that you have come up with a saying so you don't have to communicate with people
Saturdays for the
about your
boys.
plans?
I dated a guy that we could only date during the week because Saturdays were for the boys.
And you dated him.
A couple times. We went out a couple times. And then when I realized we couldn't go out on a weekend, I was like, you'll never see me again.
Insane people either don't let you have other friends or they carve out a day that's for the boys. Both of those groups of people are not well and need to seek help. Saturdays are for the boys. Yeah. Are you 12?
For Dan and I, every day is for the boys.
That's right. How many times do we look at each other over the fence and we go, it's Saturday, and we leave our families?
Yeah.
And we're like, sorry, suckers.
For the boys.
Saturdays are for the boys.
Well, I mean, I think Saturdays are for the boys, but the boys are your
Our
children.
boys.
Yeah.
There are boys.
Or like maybe just be like, just plan things. Maybe just plan things. What Saturdays for the boys are saying is like, I can't deal with you right now, woman.
Actually, for you, Saturdays are for the farmer's market.
Saturdays are for the farmer's market, and there are boys there.
Saturdays are for the farmers.
That's right.
Shout out to all the farmers
so
out there.
Minutemen coming in at 30. Top 10 has not changed. 10, Halloween Town. 9, Get a Clue. 8, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. 7, Phantom of the Megaplex. 6, Smart House. 5, Johnny Tsunami. 4, Right on Track. 3, Cadet Kelly. 2, High School Musical. And number 1, Motocross.
I got Minutemen sliding at 14.
Yeah.
14. Just ahead of Wendy Wu. And just behind Mom's Got a Date with That Vampire.
Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is not in your top 10?
I mean, I say my top 10 every week.
I always forget. I don't get it.
Well, I've got
3 for me.
Yeah, I've got 10 movies that are that I like a lot.
Yeah.
There was another time where I also had Minutemen coming in at 23 on my list, which would have put it in between Jump In and Wendy Wu.
Yeah.
Jump in
really
I
have
high.
at 16.
Jump In really. Oh my God.
Yeah. Because we
you
like,
guys,
well, we
your
like art.
love of Corbin Blue because of High School Musical is
Corbin,
clouds your judgment of anything else he's in. It's so crazy.
If I'm clouded, then I don't want to be in the sky. You know what I mean?
That's not correct.
You guys get what I'm saying. 10, Full Court Miracle. 9, Smart House. 8, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. 7, Cadet Kelly. 6, Get a Clue. 5, High School Musical. 4, Motocross. 3, Johnny Tsunami. 2, High School Musical 2. And number 1, the greatest movie of our time. And anytime.
So stupid.
Brink.
If someone will make a just in Courier new font, if I'm clouded, then I don't want to be in the sky. You know what I mean? Dash Brandon Gray, and it's in quotes. I will wear that. If it's black, I will, and then with white Courier new, I will wear that shirt. You just send it on over. I'll wear it. It's easy. It's done. I have minute 15.
Okay, we're all right there.
Yeah.
Well,
and,
you're not.
And the way that
The boys are. Saturdays for the boys.
Saturdays are for the boys.
Minutemen is for the boys.
Saturdays are for the boys. I've said it 1,000 times. Minutemen is behind Quince. So for me, the 14 movies ahead of it, to varying degrees, all do exactly what they say they're going to do. So Quince, Miracle in Lane 2, Brink, High School Musical. Those 4 movies are not in my top 10, but they are complete in my opinion. Minutemen, not quite complete. It is one ahead of Smart House, a movie that had it leaned into being a horror movie or had any sort of consistency with what it meant to be a Smart House, I would have much higher.
Smart House is perfect.
Minutemen was more entertaining to me than Smart House. It is more consistent than Smart House. So like movies after that could be entertaining, but they don't, like Luck of the Irish. Movie's a mess. It's not fun, right? 'Twas the Night. Movie's a mess. Not fun, right? So that's where I have it at 15. I feel really good about that. My top 10 has not changed. Halloween Town, Full Court Miracle, Scream Team, Get a Clue, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, Phantom of the Megaplex, Johnny Tsunami, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, Cadet Kelly, Moto Crossed. Best movie by a mile. Also gets a shout out in The Bear, season 4, in a really funny scene. Saturdays for the boys. Hey, this cake, best thing that Aaron's ever made for this program. And it's not even particularly close. Not that everything else was bad. It's just that good. It was that good.
You realize how it
Fantastic.
sounded
So is this-
Immediately.
quickly.
Saturdays for the boys.
and then the Reese's cups.
The Reese cups were amazing. My problem with the
Shout out
Reese
to our
cups
boy
is I
Reese.
ate them like I would eat grocery store Reese cups, and I got sick.
Well, they're a lot
because
bigger.
they were so rich and so big.
bigger.
But one Reese cup and this fighting it out, but this
There
one.
is we're out of stock right now because I think I bought them all. At the cook station, we carry these gourmet like Reese's cups that are mixed with a little bit of chocolate liqueur. They are
Listening.
the hands down the best Reese's cup I've ever had. It's the
All
only
right.
time in my life where I've preferred the dark chocolate version over the milk chocolate version.
Boy, howdy.
We sold out of the dark chocolate within like a couple days because literally every shift I would just buy 5.
So send us those and the brand shirt.
And yeah, I every time I walk in, I check to make sure to see we've got them back in stock. Once we do, I'll buy a bunch, bring them in. But they
Bring
are
it.
phenomenal.
I love it.
Next week, everybody, we're heading to summer camp for Camp Rock.
Camp Rock.
Yes,
We did it.
This is real, everybody.
this
It's
is
real.
real. This is me.
Okay.
Can't wait for that. I am so excited for Camp Rock. I'm very excited for Camp Rock.
Great. You want to end the show
Can
or
we
you
do
want to
that?
say it again?
I want to watch Camp Rock. We'll be back to, but next time. Happy 4th,
Decomment it
everybody. You can see the
up.
fireworks after shooting them off.
Shoot off your own because the first responders have the day off.
Brisket's going to be great. I just know it. Decom Descendants is a Bramble Jam podcast produced in that Greenville at the Bramble Jam Podcast Network Studios by Brandon Gray. For more information on Decom Descendants, go to the web, decompodcast.com. Go to the socials, Decom Descendants, with an @ in front of it. To watch us watch these movies live, go to takethetape.com, or you can go to bramblejamplus.com. And don't forget, we're on the way to 300. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Thanks so much.